Lost Sphear is the second entry for developers Tokyo RPG Factory in what I can only call a love letter to veteran jRPG fans. Approached in a modern way, Lost Sphear, alongside their previously released Am Setsuna, captured a lot of the soul of some of our most beloved franchises' initial entries. Released for the PC, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch, Lost Sphear has a game length of around 25 to 30 hours and a release price of $50 US. In Lost Sphear, you play as Kanata, a young man who slowly unravels and works to understand his strange gift for reassembling memories to rebuild a world lost. In true old-school JRPG style, while we have a party size of 4, we can create a party from a larger, diverse cast of characters to take part in a positional turn-based combat system very similar to Am Setsuna, or dare I say it, Chrono Trigger. The gameplay and direction of Lost Sphear is very linear, it's very structured without much deviation. You will uncover a plot that may seem familiar, but the setting and theme of memory makes it feel fresh. Jam-packed with callbacks and homages to classic JRPGs of the past, Lost Sphear doesn't deviate too much from the formula established in those JRPGs, with half your time reading text boxes and the other half exploring or moving from one dungeon to another to read new text boxes. Like most games of the golden JRPG age of the Super Nintendo or the early PlayStation era that this game sets out to mimic, the story is definitely a slow burn, but the payoff is well worth it. Lost Sphear has a bit of a double-edged sword when it comes to its combat and complexity. For a relatively short game, there are almost too many different systems that are used. You have the standard gearing and upgrading of gear and elemental and status afflictions and affinities that exist, as well as a secondary form, your Vulko suit, which is basically a personal mech which powers you up and gives you additional abilities, both in combat and exploring the field. The turn-based combat system has room to flex your skill for strategy as you make use of movement in addition to attacking and positioning, and allows you to line up attacks to get the most bang for your buck, cluster up to get off a group AoE heal, or spread out when the enemy is readying up to do something big. It also has the momentum system from Am Setsuna, where you will earn these pips that allow you to power up your next basic attack or fuel or alter your skill use using a quick time event input, and also features the fan favorite of being able to perform combo attacks with your allies. The skill system Lost Sphear uses is very similar to the Final Fantasy VII materia system, where each skill, whether it be active or passive, is represented by a stone Sprit Knight. You equip the skills you want and can connect these with a support-type Sprit Knight that will give an additional effect if it is used with the before-mentioned momentum. So say you have a wind slash attack, you could join it with a chance to poison or a heals you on hit. That in itself is cool, but you also have a chance to transfer the effect to the skill permanently as a passive bonus called sublimation in the game. And these effects will occur whether you use it with momentum or not, and each skill can hold up to 10 of these different effects, or 10 of the same effects reinforced, and you can also have multiples of the same skill with different effects, and this just allows you unprecedented customization and control over your character's kits. There are also strong party-wide buffs to make use of in the form of meals, which you assemble via the game's strange focus on food and ingredients, increasing max values and health and resources and applying bonuses such as additional damage done to a specific enemy type. And I don't mean to pile on, but the game also allows you to activate and choose between many different global bonuses that will affect both your party and the enemies, so things like increase everyone's chance to crit but also lowers everyone's defense, makes combat a lot more deadly. Increase physical damage but lowers magical damage. Lost Sphear implements these type of bonuses in a fairly unique way that is core to the story, and these bonuses can also reach into abstract things like giving you access to a mini-map or being able to see enemy HP bars, but where the double-edged sword comes into play is almost none of this is needed in a standard playthrough. And by the time you really get a hold and feel like you're utilizing these systems well, the game's over. The game sets itself up to feel like it's going to be a 50 or 60 hour epic, and ends before it really even begins. However, Lost Sphear does use 3 different difficulty settings, and on the hard setting, you are definitely pushed and required to use everything at your disposal in certain places, and the sheer amount of control and options allow you to make decisions that you do feel proud of, whereas on easy and normal, it seems a little bit cluttered and unnecessary, both in what you can do, but also what you can find, as each system generally is tied to items, locations, or unlockables found in the game, which is great if you are a collection fiend, but feels a little bit much otherwise. There are some smaller points to the game I like, things like renaming your character or renaming the Vulko suit you have. The game has a cutscene fast forward button, a quick save requiring no save point, the ability to skip combat animations, dialogue rewind, different weapons having different visuals, extensive record keeping of tons of different stats, solid menuing, and the controls and the movement in the game, if it doesn't translate well over video, are buttery smooth. And of course, it has fishing. I don't want to hinge everything on comparisons, but the game feels like an iterated version of Am Setsuna that isn't stuck in winter. A game that won't win any awards, probably won't score very highly, but is made for the people who can look at the game and already know that they will like it or are just looking for their next quest. It's a throwback jRPG. It reminds me of the days I would wake up early to hunt Gao on the veldt or try my luck against Bahamut. Unfortunately, the game is priced a little high for me to recommend it, especially in comparison to last year's Battle Chasers Night War, which had kind of a similar story. It was a great jRPG for jRPG lovers, but not a game that will make you a fan. So I would suggest you wait a little bit for a sale unless you are desperate for a new game. I liked it more than I should have, and as I said in the opening line of the video, it really is a love letter to a game designed for those people who have fond memories of those old school JRPGs and allows us, even if it's just for 25 to 30 hours, to go back to that time and enjoy it in a modern setting. But that's going to do it for me. Until next time, this is Fevir. Peace.